Hello, my beautiful people. Y'all, when I say I used to be absolutely terrified of trading in the stock market, and y'all know what the heck I mean. You think you're going to lose your money, and then you think you're not educated enough, all the things. Well, we about to talk about in this video why I'm sitting back chilling, okay? Making consistent profits that I can rely on to pay my bills, okay? So we're going to get into the video. Now, for those of you that's new here, hi, my name is Paris Smith, and I was able to retire myself from the 9 to 5 at 24 years old. I fired that man. He had to go. I had to leave the 9 to 5. And so I also was able to make 6 figures in 6 months as a complete beginner trading this stock trading strategy that I'm talking about today in this video, and it's also all over this channel. But when I say 6 figures in 6 months, I mean 6 figures in annual income. And so the strategy is so unique. I only trade once a week. I call it my money making Monday. I only trade on Mondays. It takes me a minute. I say less than 3 minutes, but for me it takes me a few seconds. And the only reason why I say that is because you're clicking a few buttons and you're pressing submit. You're clicking the same buttons every single time that you trade. We trade the same stock. Like, it's super, super, super simple. And so I click them, fill out the little form, hit submit, and that's it. And I always say the longest part of the trade is sending your monies out. If you wanted to send it out to your personal bank account, and not keep it in your broker. But anyways, this strategy produces a consistent income. So when I say I am relying on this income, when I say for the last 6 years I've been relying on this income, we're gonna get into the video, but I rely on this income. Listen, no charts, no day trading, none those dealing with those indicators. I want y'all to put in the comments. No, don't put that in the comments. I want y'all to put in the comments, what? I want y'all to pause the video and put in the comments, what? But you gotta type it the way I said it though. So I need some extra T's on that thing. But anyways, if you're interested in learning more about this trading strategy, I am having a free stock trading masterclass coming up. The link has all the details on the day and the time. Make sure you register, and I am going to blow your mind. You thought you were scared to trade, but I'm about to show you a simple way where you don't have to use all that stuff, all that day trading, all of that uncertainty, whether you're gonna lose your money or not. Nah, this strategy right here will wake you up. But anyways, let's get into the video. So when I say I used to be so scared of like the stock market, let me just first start by telling you how I even got started in the first place. Now, I've been born with a chronic disease. I've had this chronic disease my whole life. It's called juvenile type 1 diabetes. And I was diagnosed at 14 years old. I already knew I wasn't going to make it in the 9 to 5 world. I already knew. Because I was like, how am I going to handle this daggone illness? My insulin pump right here. Y'all see my insulin pump and my CGM? Yeah, so I'm literally dependent on an insulin pump to live. And I just knew it was going to be rough. Because how am I going to do all this and work a 9 to 5? Like, that's a lot. Feeling sick, oh God, how? And so early on, I was about 18 years old. I left my 9 to 5 at 24, but 18 years old, I was like, I just can't see myself working like a 9 to 5 and commuting. And so my mom actually came up to me and said, Paris, I want you to study this. And I was like, what is it? She said, it's the stock market. Trade it in the stock market. And I was like, all right. At first I was like, come on now. Like, why are you asking me to teach? First of all, she asked me to study it and to teach her because she didn't have that much time running her businesses and stuff like that. I was like, all right, let me just let me see it. So she told me it's stock market trading. I didn't know nothing about the stock market. I knew the words stock market. I didn't know what the stock market was though. So I had to go on Google. Okay? I had to go on YouTube. Like, what is the stock market? What is this thing? To figure it out. And so I became obsessed because I was like, yo, this might be something I could do to leave the 9 to 5, you know, that whole thing. Now, when I was 18, I was diving into it. You know, I was doing my thing, diving into it and stuff. But I wasn't like super serious or consistent until about 20. Yeah, I was about 21 to 2, 3, 4, 21. I was 21. 21 was when I was working in corporate America and I started my career in information technology. Now, your girl was bad, okay? Your girl was bad, okay? I knew how to troubleshoot, okay? I was not afraid to get my hands dirty with my beautiful nails. Thank you. I was that girl. Because if my name is on anything, best believe it's going to be the best. Okay. And so I definitely loved my job. Like, I love my job. But I was like, I'm not commuting like this. Like, I was commuting over about 2 hours, my first job. And then another place that I worked at, it was about an hour, hour and a half. And I was just like, this is a lot. Waking up at 5 a.m. and I'm already sick. And this was a time where my health was not the greatest. Like, it was bad. I tell myself, how I describe it is I was laying on my deathbed. That's how I felt. Waking up, oh my God, I had to peel myself up out of bed. Getting dressed, I just remember how sick I was feeling. I'm like, I really have to go to work like this? This is crazy. And then, you know, commuting and stuff, and oh my God, it was just so hard. Feeling so sick on the job, but when I say nobody could tell that I was like not well, I would smile, be my silly self, and light up the room. Nobody knew I was so sick, which is crazy to me to this day. But anyways, I knew it wasn't gonna work out. And then dealing with my chronic disease, y'all know it's so many doctor appointments. You go to a lot of like specialty doctors, and so you're not gonna tell me to pick my job or going to the doctor to take care of myself. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna keep threatening me that I'm gonna get fired because I want to take care of myself. It was getting too much. So I went on back on Google and on YouTube. I said, let me dive back in. Let me dive back in. And I went all the way in. I went all the way in. First of all, I learned this strategy. I learned about this strategy. And I said, you mean to tell me I don't have to day trade? I don't have to read charts. I don't have to try to figure out these indicators. I don't have to be glued to my phone no more. Because when you search trading in the stock market, what comes up most times is day trading or swing trading or scalping. Like, we ain't got time for that. And I found a strategy where you don't need none of that. So I was like, oh, and it's low risk? Okay. And you mean to tell me that the income that I'm making continues, like is reliable? I make the same amount every single week. I said, oh my God. Yeah, when I say I turned off all of my cable, I did not care. I locked the heck in. Like, I wasn't going out with friends and they was kikiing and laughing at me and stuff, because not only did I dive all the way in, but I also picked up a third job. I had 2 jobs. I picked up a third one because I needed to fund my trading account. And I'm like, how am I going to do that if I'm broke? Like, I'm paycheck to paycheck. How am I going to do that? So I had to pick up another job. And all them people that laughed at me, listen, I don't even know where them people are. They see me though. They see me though. Okay. But anyways, yeah, so I dove all the way in. And I was just like, y'all know, like, there's always a fear of losing money when you're trading. You think about the inconsistencies of the income that you make. Because, you know, day trading, you may make $1 today. You may lose 500 tomorrow. You just don't know, right? And then, of course, it's like confusion. It's a lot of confusion when it comes to trading or day trading, all of that stuff. And so when I actually started trading, when I say all of those negative beliefs that I had in my head was gone. First of all, my first ever trade was AMD. I put $5,000 in my broker from my third job, which I was a busser. Okay, I was shining wine glasses at an upscale restaurant in DC. That was my job. I put that whole check in my broker account. $5,500 to be exact. AMD was $5,000 at the time to invest because the stock price was at $50. I bought one contract. That one contract premium was $2.50 every single week. That joint didn't move. Every single week I made $250. Some weeks I luck up and make $255, but that was just the premium, you know. But when I say this strategy is where you're picking super solid stocks that don't move, I call it boring money. And that's the best kind of money because, you know, I want something consistent. And that's what makes this trading strategy low risk anyway, is having stocks that have fundamentals. I call it boring stocks. But the premium is great. The income you make is great. And I sleep good at night. Even right now, the market is absolutely crazy. This market is up. This market is down. It's crashing like crazy. Then we up again. Like, it is a hot rotisserie mess. But I wake up and I'm good. I go to sleep, baby. When I say my head hit that pillow, I'm drooling like a baby. I don't trip. I'm not in fear. I'm not scared. I don't think about my investments. None of that. Why? It's because this strategy is on the lower risk side, which is amazing. 2, I pick super solid companies to trade, and I'm also teaching that in the next stock trading masterclass that's coming up. It's for free. I'm gonna teach y'all fundamentals, how you can do it too. And then what else? Low risk, super solid stocks, and just how you trade. Like, you could trade on your phone, right? You on lunch break or whatever, pull out your phone, make your trade, keep on going with your day. It is so easy. When I made my first trade, $250, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, ain't no way. I just made $250. Like, this is so crazy to me. In my mind, I can't believe it. And so I called, at the time was TD Ameritrade. I called my broker and I was like, they were 24 hours at the time. And I was like, oh my God, I just can't believe this. And they give you a debit card. TD Ameritrade did at the time. There is no TD Ameritrade anymore. They gave me a debit card at the time. And they told me I made $250. Like, I kept confirming. I called like 3-4 times in one day. They were like, yes, Miss Smith. Yes, Miss Smith. I'm like, okay. I was like, I gotta go try this card out. I gotta go try this card out. So I went to the gas station on my way home. Yeah, I went to the gas station and I was just like, swipe. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. And the gas was going in my vehicle. I said, that was the easiest trade I've ever made. And then, what made it even better, y'all know on Mondays you real funky. When you go to work, like you mad. Because don't nobody like Mondays. Mondays suck. But Mondays used to be absolutely horrible. Like I would have the Sunday scaries and all that, you know, trying to prepare to go to work on Monday and for the week. When I say when I was working my 9 to 5 and trading, and I was like, you know, building up my account and all that stuff, I was so excited on Sundays that tomorrow is Monday. I call it Money Making Monday. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, tomorrow is Money Making Monday. I will go to work as soon as the market opened. I'm on my computer sneaking. My desk was next to my boss. I was on the computer sneaking. And I was making my little trades. Hold on, let me get off the phones real quick. I gotta go use the bathroom. You know what I mean? And I would go make my trade. And I would like feel so excited. Like, yo, Mondays are freaking lit. Like, if I have any students watching this video right now, I want y'all to put in the comments, Mondays are lit. My students know what I'm talking about. Okay, my students know what I'm talking about. And so, fast forward, I came up with this whole plan. Like, this trading strategy is so dope that you can come up with your own blueprint. I call it Freedom Day Plan. Basically saying, let me just give you an example. So my plan was 2018. I said July 2nd, 2021, I'm firing my boss. I got to go. I made a whole plan for 3 years. I'm going to purchase this stock, these many contracts. This is my income. This is how much I'm reinvested. And I just kept the plan going. Every single month, I would make sure I was on target with the plan. I was working my third job and all of that good stuff. And July 2nd, 2021, I wrote it down on a piece of paper. What the Lord say? Write it down, make it plain. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I said, July 2nd, 2021, fire your boss. That's what I did. And so when I actually started trading, though, because 2018, 2019, I had this plan, right? I had the plan. I was working, feeding my trading account, all the things. Diving deep, okay? Studying. 2020, February 2020, I made my first trade, AMD. Made $250 a month. I mean, $250 a week because we trade every single week. So I made $1,000 per month already. Like, that was wild to me. You mean to tell me I'm already making $1,000 a month? This is my first time trading. I told y'all I was making 6 figures my first 6 months trading in annual income. And I was just like, oh my God, this is too lit. So when I say right now, fast forward 6 years later, I am definitely not scared. I don't care what kind of market we in. I don't care if the market fall all the way down to the ground. I don't care if the stock market soars all the way up to the sky. I don't care if the stock market never moves again. When I say I'm sleeping good at night, oh baby, I'm sleeping too good. I trade every Monday, sometimes on Fridays. It all depends. I am making my consistent profits. I'll also bring it here too on this page every Monday. I trade, and I put the little screenshots on the screen. So if y'all want to like come along with me, you know, or even write down my profits and see how much I profited for the month, you know, all that fun stuff, I bring it here. And so all I want to say is, if I can do it, a young black girl who has this chronic disease that is so annoying, okay? I also had a learning disability, and if I could learn this trading strategy, and now I'm living my best life, I don't worry about bills. I have no debts. All I'm doing is building up my assets, being a blessing to others. I retired my mom. My twin sister is in college to be a doctor of dental surgery. I pay all her bills, all her living expenses, whatever she needs, I got it. This is what I'm talking about, what I've been able to do with this trading strategy. And if I could do it, you could do it too. But anyway, let me get to walking, okay? I gotta lose about 30 pounds. I gotta lose 30 pounds. I don't look like I'm big though. I don't look big. But that scale, that's I rebuke. Oh, anyway, let me go. If you're interested in learning more about this trading strategy, I am having a free stock trading masterclass coming up. The link is in the description. I'll see you there. Anyway, my name is Paris Smith, that wealth chick. I hope this video was good to you. It was good to me. With that being said, I got to go. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.